Alright, you guys, welcome to Game 3 of Dusknoir versus Arcanine. Winner moves on to the top 4. Loser will be eliminated from the tournament. Prized 1-1. If you haven't watched Game 1 and Game 2 yet, please go do that. Yes, both games are very uninteresting. However, you should still watch them to know what happened. And I kind of talk about the matchup a little bit at the start of Game 2, even though the game was just, it was a wash, right? It was just not a great game. Neither game was a great game. So if you look at the timestamp, you'll notice this one's 23 minutes long, so you know you're at least getting a full-fledged U150 game here. Stream picked up here right as we were setting up, so awesome. Double Spiritomb starts, so we know we're going to get probably a good game at least. Grady looks like he's looking at the hand. It's probably just going to be, I think he's trying to determine what to attach to. Maybe I'm going first and I'm just spinning? No. Yeah. So he attaches down there. It looks like a Darkness Grace for the Porygon 2. And it looks like I'm just going to copy suit here. This is probably going to go for the Claydol and the Coco, I would imagine. Or Baltoy. Sorry. Baltoy and Coco, yep. And then, depending on what's in my hand, yep, it's going to be the Claydol, actually. So, Grady top decks. He's got a Copycat. He's got a Beyblade. He might just play the Beyblade. Oh, nope, he's got a Collector. So, the Collector will be what he gets. Lapras for next turn. Definitely going to grab the Baltoy. And a Growlithe will be his plays here. And then he might just Darkness Grace into... He might go into the Arcanine, to be honest. Grady also did not play a second supporter this turn. He definitely could have. No, he actually is going to bench the Lapras for the Lysander on the Claydol. He's going to just take this really aggressive knockout. So he collected for the... So he did play a second supporter. So he's just going really aggressive. Takes the Claydol knockout. Says, look, like, you're done setting up. So the double Spiritomb lock gets broken really easily. But if I can hit like a... If I can hit DCE and a way to get rid of this muscle band, will be A-OK. So here's a Misty's Wrath. Hopefully we can hit this one and only DCE. There's a Twins, and I have not played a supporter yet. So the Twins is definitely going to help get those 2 cards that I want. The problem is, do I have anything else that I really can do or really want to do? At the very least, this goes for DCE, and I think getting rid of that muscle band is pretty dang important. So it might just be Windstorm DCE. It might be something completely different. It might be a Lysander. Super Rod to shuffle back in the support line, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, why am I putting the Spiritomb back? Spiritomb sucks. I definitely want the Dusknoir back and that 1-1 Claydol line that he knocked out. Yep, and there's a Windstorm in my hand, so I'm getting rid of that muscle band. Say, look, you got to try to find another one next turn. It's going to force you to do that, and if he does, it's it's a little bit of a scary position for me. But looks like we'll go Devo Spray here. Uxie, try to hit that Broken Time Slice, maybe do it again, or at least maybe a Duskull. So I downloaded the Twins so I can still play the Karina. This will probably search for that Baltoy, and I don't know what item we'd search for. Maybe Floatstone, just to prep for next turn. Could also be a computer search. No, it's gonna be. Looks like I'm considering Fighting Fairy Belt. So that Grady needs a way to, like a muscle band and a Windstorm to knock me out. Not the muscle band, but maybe even a Fighting Fury Belt. So he's going to need 2 things now to knock me out. So the Windstorm play works out well, all prompted by that Twins off of the Oak. Gonna take the Gust of Wind here, and the reason I'm doing this is just to spread some more damage, because it gives me 60 damage because of the Lightning Weakness on Lapras. It just kind of forces Grady to, like, have to hit a scoop up at some point on this Lapras, because if he doesn't, it's 60 damage that's on the field ready for me to go. Or I could just take a really cheap knockout next turn by spreading 20 down to it on the bench. So that's what that is for, and it requires him to get a Floatstone to get out of the active. The deck doesn't play a DCE, so he needs to hit a Floatstone or an AZ or something like that. And granted, he does have a Copycat, and he has ways to draw cards in this hand, and a Claydol. So there's a Scoop Up just right off the bat. The first card he sees is the Scoop Up. So he knows he's going to be in good hands. Just what to do with the rest of that hand is the question. It's looking like he Yeah, he's really considered. He's got a Hex. He's got a download. He's got a lot of cool stuff. He's got a Skyla. There's way too many options, especially because he can play a second supporter with the Lapras. So here's a scoop up. We'll see what he grabs with the Lapras. He can realistically grab whatever he wants with the Skyla or the Lapras. But he's used both supporters. He still has to play one more supporter this turn. He's already attached. But what is that one supporter he plays? He's also holding onto that Hex. But he knows he needs to bench the Lapras, because if he doesn't bench the Lapras, the Victini doesn't do more damage, right? So he needs to bench another Pokemon. That's like priority number one. Like the first things first, he needs to bench. And he goes with the Sage's Training, actually. Oh, nope, he's debating it. He needs to get another Pokemon out. Like, that's just like bar none. So it might be Skyla for a Retriever, if he's got something in there. Or he's just going to risk it with the Oak. Say, look, this hand's really not that great. Or, Grady, make up your mind, dude. Let's see. Nope, he goes Lapras. He's going to search for maybe a Lysander here and take an important knockout. Yeah, so he's going to take that Baltoy again. He's going to put no damage, and he's just going to straight knock it out so he doesn't have to deal with this Fighting Fury belt. Porygon 2 comes back down. There's a Mew and an Energy. AZ down to draw some more cards. What can we do with this hand? I need to get like a swoop onto that Spiritomb. That's just really what I need to do. Bursting Balloon goes down to the Porygon. I might be thinking why? Because I'm going to probably keep the Koko in the active, and what I really want to do is make sure he doesn't Lysander kill the Porygon 2. But a Hex is my only play here. Not the best in the world. We would have really preferred to get something else. And Greedy's going to be looking for a Muscle Band or some way to add damage. So that he can at least get a close to a knockout. But Energy Removal is a great play as well, because that's the only DCE in the deck that's really going to work. I don't think the deck plays Upper Energy. I Hexed, so it'll just be a straight 100 damage. And now Alex has to think of some stuff. There's the other energy down to the Mew, which is perfect, because I can just Flying Flip again. Putting all of his stuff into range here. If I can hit a Porygon Z, I'm going to put him into a really bad position. So this might actually, this download is probably going to go for maybe like an N and a Porygon Z. That could be it. So there's the N I hovered. Can't find the Porygon Z, and I know I didn't prize it, so let's see what we actually went with there. Yep, looks like the Porygon Z, so we will de-evolve all of this stuff. And then there's an N. So this turn it looks like if I already have the Mew, so I will be able to knock out 1, 2, 3, 4 of his Pokemon. Problem is, if I can get rid of the Wishful Baton, it's even better. I don't know if I will be able to. But looks like there's the item finder, so maybe that actually goes for Windstorm on the Wishful Baton. Ooh, no, we're going for Super Rod instead, actually. Shoving back in some stuff. There's the Swoop Teleporter. You want to swoop the Spiritomb, Alex. Oh, and here's where the camera fell. So yeah, that's really exciting. Sped up. So I'm sorry about this. Let's see if I can just fast forward through it. The camera was taped to a light. That's how we had it streamed, because I couldn't have my streaming rig. It didn't fit in my car to drive over to Grady's. So apologies for that. Good thing we just fast forwarded right through it. So what was I doing? Looks like I swooped the Claydol, and I valued the Claydol more than I did the Dusknoir, it looks like. Although, if I had a way to get it out this turn, maybe I should have gone for the Dusknoir. Just because then I would have taken that damage off of the Lapras, moved it over to the Growlithe, and taken 5 knockouts. I don't think I had it in my hand, though, with the swoop play. I would have needed the Breeder. But that's okay. That's okay, because we're still doing things, it looks like. So there's a Dowsing Machine. Looks like for a scoop up on the Uxie, and no, we actually go Spiritomb here. Because I deal 10 to myself, which is actually somewhat relevant. 3. And so that just straight knocked out his all of his Pokemon there. And then we're going to retreat. Looks like that's an EXP share. And then I'll take the knockout on both the Growlithe and the Victini as well. So yeah, sorry, the Spiritomb does it instead of the Spiritomb will do it just fine instead of the Dusknoir. So we'll manage to spread all of his attackers. Go down to 3 prizes now. Hot diggity dang. And Grady's left with nothing on board. If I had hit, what would I have needed to hit to knock him out there? I don't think I could have gotten game any way, shape, or form. If he hadn't gotten a scoop up on the Lapras, maybe? Who knows? But looks like Grady's considering just grabbing the Growlithe there. Don't think anything else really is going to come to mind. The one thing about this play that does kind of hurt me is that it doesn't... the Porygon Z is on the field, and that's somewhat scary. And I needed to, I need that double supporter, but it leaves me with no damage on field. So like the Dusknoir for me just isn't gonna happen, right? The Goop from Grady hurts because I'm not able to use. I'm not gonna be able to use what's his toes? Memories of Dawn, I think the ability is called from Mew. So it looks like I'm mallowing here. Maybe I have a way to draw those cards already because he did Goop, so I can't draw them with Claydol. But it looks like I might not have that in my hand. It might just be like a retreat and a pass of some sort. That could be it. We're really thinking. I really want that one card. That might be the Devo Spray. I really want that first card, but the second one is the debate. So there's a Lysander. I'm hovering. Kind of hard to say what I'll get here. Well, it looks like I'm actually taking back the Mallet because I'm like, I can't draw these anyways. Maybe I didn't realize that he gooped me. Maybe that was it. So, let's see what we hit off this. No Devo Spray, but it will be a retreat, an attach, and this is actually a really cheeky play, and I love it. So what the attack does is it moves 10 damage from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponents. And the cool thing about that for me is that he doesn't have a Windstorm knockout on the Coco anymore. So pretty big there. Greedy's looking for a swoop and a swoop only. That's really what he's going to need to hit here. A swoop teleporter will be big for Greedy. That looks like a Stark Mountain, so he can move a fire energy off the Lapras to one of his fire Pokemon. That's what that does. Evo Soda to the Arcanine. It'll probably be the retreat one, because that one's actually going to be really useful if he can get it out. But maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe it's in his hand already. No, it looks like he doesn't have it. It's somewhere else. So the one that says like when this Pokemon becomes active, move all the energy to it. That's the one he's looking for here. Looks like Greedy drew into a bill with his second supporter. And looks like he's hovering there's a bill. He has a dowsing machine in his hand. He's drawn through cards that backup Porygon's going to do him no good. Here's a dowsing machine. So the one thing that that Greedy that can hang his hat on is the fact of that I just don't have damage on the field, right? And that's big. Like I can't spread, I can't do anything cute. There's just really nothing I'm going to be able to do. Whereas, yeah, Greedy doesn't have a setup, but he can take solace in that he's not really on a timer, right? My board position is just not great. With any better of a board position, Dusknoir could just roll here. But the one thing that he can hope for is the no board state. So Great decides to go for. He actually hits a swoop off of all this stuff. Finally, and there's the Arcanine in his discard pile, the one that he's looking for, and he retrievers that. So that's exactly what he was looking for, and he will go ahead and just takes the knockout. Kind of scary things there. So I've used a lot of resources. I think that's one of the big problems at this juncture is that I need a trump card. I just need to. I'm giving Grady all of his resources back, but at this point I'm not going to be able to deal with this Arcanine. It's just hitting me so hard. Finally we hit the Devo Spray onto the Porygon, so now I'll be able to play two supporters. Very big there. going to need that either the DCE or the cool part is the Memories of Dawn will be able to copy the Meowth here. But I need that 10 extra damage. I don't know if we hit it onto the It looks like we didn't do the Porygon, so I'm looking for a scoop up and a way to put 10 more damage. I think that's what I'm trying to do here, and like a muscle band of some sort. So let's see what we're going off of here. That's kind of scary, just because I don't want to attach to myself. Looks like a Claydol's coming down. Nope, we decide not to play that because I don't want to damage myself. That's just the end of things. So we're drawing some cards here. Looks like I didn't hit a lot of stuff off it. Like I said, most of my resources are already in the discard pile. I need to trump card. I think that's what I was looking for this turn. If I was able to trump this turn, we would be A-okay. Also, Grady's at 5 prizes, not 6. The guy running the video did not realize that. So shout out to Patty. Copycatting here for 5 on the second supporter. Not fantastic. So let's see. So I attached an energy. I think I discarded it, and I showed him like, oh, can I do this first? Because I know I'm not going to be able to pull this other play off. Now we play the Frozen City, and I think I just do 50 to the so that 10 damage that went down there didn't actually end up mattering. So because I just took the knockout there, Arcanine can't use that attack again. I don't know if it says that it can't attack, but evolving resets that condition. So if he breaks it, he'll be able to use that attack again. But then again, he would also just want to use the break. Like, won't want to use anything else. He's holding on to that Hex. I don't think this would go for Windstorm. I think it's just going to purely go for the break, or a way to get the break out at least. But looks like Grady doesn't have it, so that's helpful. The Junk Arm here looks like it's going to grab the Retriever for the break, and then an N. I'm just like, you didn't play a support already? Damn. So it will take a knockout here. He will accelerate 2 damage to this Growlithe, and that's terrifying because I'm down to 2 prizes, but Grady's also now he will be going down to 4. So the race has begun, and Grady's going to way over race it because he's just taking more knockouts there, and he's going to Windstorm here, or not Windstorm, but Field Blower to take the knockout on the Koko. Something I've tried to avoid most of the game, but just really couldn't. And there's a Gust of Wind even, so he ends me to 2, and he manages to hit the Gust on the Claydol. And here's where things start going downhill. What do I do? If I draw dead off of these, I just, oof, you know? There's an Oak's Invention. I think I leave those over there. There's an Uxie over there, and I don't want him to get the Uxie, because he's... Ooh, what are we thinking? Nope, yep, we actually give him the Uxie, so... That was something I was considering. Looks like I have a Lysander in my hand. I'll play it just to stall. Maybe Grady doesn't have an energy. And I think I used this 50 to do damage to his bench. But Grady's got a double rainbow there. He's got something else. Oh, and actually what I'm doing here is I'm using Encounter for the Lapras because I'm drawing dead. And I'm saying to myself, look, like I think I'm fine. Grady hits a switch. Not fantastic. And then there's an Oak. Grady just has all the energy in the world. He's got a Warp Point. That's really all he needs to hit at this point. Like, the support Pokemon just don't matter at this point. He's just got 2 big, beefy attackers that I can't get around. This Dusknoir is not really designed to deal with just big attackers. It's designed to spread a whole bunch. And this is one of those situations where taking that big turn mid-game to kind of try to cripple Grady is coming back to bite me big time. Because Grady was able to hit the swoop on the Lapras. That was the big turn of Grady hitting the swoop on the Lapras. If he misses that, he's just straight dead, right? Like, then the Lapras gets knocked out, he loses energies, and Dusknoir moves on to the next round. But the big issue here is that he's able to hit all of this stuff. So, Lapising for Mallow, and I have the Uxie in hand, but remember, I'm running really low on resources. So I'm trying to think of a way to, like, de-evolve him, attach an energy, knock him out, do something, right? I can knock out the one on the active, but I can't knock out the one on the bench. So I grab I got a Duskull from that. So it looks like I'm benching it just in case. Here's the laser to help out with some of the math. Tails on that, I really needed that to be heads. A Junk Arm might be my last recovery option. But it looks like I'm going to go Oak and go down to like not very many cards in this hand of mine. Still didn't draw the trump card. I think I needed the trump card that turn. So I could have played it next turn. Or something like that. I think that's what I was kind of digging for. There's not a lot in that hand of mine. So it will just be a 10 damage. I'm missing energy even. Whoo boy, that is huge. Missing the energy there is just crippling. Absolutely crippling. I think Grady just obviously just runs away with this game now. He's got 2 attackers that I cannot deal with. The only way that I'm actually going to be able to win next turn is if I'm able to do some cute Pokey Flute plays, right? That's the only way that that's the only shot that I realistically have, is just Pokey Flute a couple times, or take the knockout onto the Arcanine, which is an EX. Great just loading up energies, getting ready for stuff. How can he disrupt me here? He will be just taking the knockout on the Meowth. I think I don't know why Grady looked. I think that's what he got with his Karina. So he's going to escape up. I'm going to give him the Spiritomb. And I'm fine with that. Man, no, this is what I'm... yeah. He hit escape rope and switch. So I'm going to go on the Lapras here. Let him take the knockout on the Lapras. Don't really need that. Here's the Meowth back up. Can I... like I said, I'm going to need some cute Pokey Flute plays is the only way that I can realistically win this game. But I don't think that's going to be too much of an option considering that I've used all my resources. Don't think I can take anything here. There's the Dusklops. The BTS is in play, so I will get a Dusknoir out. But can I do anything else? So there's the Pinecco and the Fortress to do 10 to everything. 20 and 10. So the bench one's an EX. I just need to knock out... if I can knock out the EX too, 80, 90 plus 50 is 140. And I can't remember what that Arcanine's HP is. I need an energy, that's the problem. I'm looking at this hand, I don't think I have anything that I need. So I have the de-evolve for knockout, and I think I was looking for something else in my deck, but there's just not a lot I can do here. I needed to de-evolve him. I don't think there was anything else. I think I just... yeah, there's the game right there. So Pokepuff in the hand would have helped. I needed to do some cool flute plays, but yeah, down the stretch there, Grady hitting the Swoop Teleporter and me not having any damage to spread during the late game was the downfall of Dusknoir there. So Arcanine moves on to the top 4. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.